Sucrose comes with special support capabilities as she does Nemo damage and gives massive support opportunities for your main carries. This is the final Sucrose Damage and Support build guide starting right now. Her passive talent allows giving 20% of her elemental mastery to everyone else, which makes elemental reactions that much more increased damage. And the best artifact sets that help benefit quite well is the Iridescent, which further reduces elemental resistance, making so that with the right equipment, Sucrose can actually be one of the top tier supports. Her E skill allows pretty decent Nemo damage, as this skill can be used 2 times with Constellation 1. This skill along with the E skill together helps maximize her support capabilities while dishing out good damage. So what you want to be doing with Sucrose is you want to use the E skill to reduce the element infused into swirl with the pyro, and in my case it's going to be helping Hu Tao and Ganyu, but with cryo as well. So what I can do is I can do this and that, into Sucrose. Now everything's going to take more cryo damage, right? Now everything's taking more pyro damage. And I guess I can like finish him off with Albedo. So what you're looking for with Sucrose is you want to be reducing the element resistance to the enemies, and then you can have your main carries do more cryo and pyro damage. And if you're using like child, then it's gonna be more hydro damage, so you can like focus with Sucrose in that way, and you can really support your main carries to do much more damage. I'll leave the Sucrose gameplay at the end of the video doing Spiral Abyss floor 12. Let's go over Sucrose really quickly. Level 81 with attack at 1503, 207 elemental mastery, 55.8% crit rate, 173.6% crit damage, 117.6% Nemo damage bonus. Constellation is 3 constellation. The first one gives additional charge to the E skill, which is very necessary, especially if you're using Iridescent set, which you should be doing. Second one increases Q skill duration by 2 seconds. Constellation 6 allows extra further damage after she swirls, which makes Constellation 6 pretty decent, pretty good. For the talents, level 1 on normal charge attacks, level 12 because of the Constellation 3 on the E skill, and level 6 on the Q skill. Apparently with Sucrose you want to max out both of these. Now the E skill does pretty decent damage even if you go elemental mastery sands, which you should be doing because it'll be giving additional elemental mastery. And with the Q skill, what's gonna happen is she's gonna do continued damage, and she's gonna do additional elemental damage when she imbues the elemental absorption, which can happen with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, Electro. For the artifacts, there's no question, you have to go Iridescent burner set with her, mainly because she's going to be doing whirls, and what's infused inside the swirl with the element is going to be decreased 40% of that element. And so because she has additional charge and she's able to use the E skill quite often, you can time Sucrose and have her reduce element infused in the swirl to the enemies. That's why you want to use Iridescent, or she's not going to be optimal, and there's kind of like no point running Sucrose if you're not going to run Iridescent 4-piece. So this is pretty much the main piece here. Before you get to 4-piece Iridescent, maybe you can opt in for 2-piece Glad and 2-piece Iridescent, or even 2-piece Wonders Troop with 2-piece Iridescent, getting additional elemental mastery. And if you're below AR 45, you can opt in for the Instructor set. And for the most important information, Iridescent 4-piece is absolute must for Sucrose. For the Feather, I'm using attack with crit damage and crit rate and attack percent. For the Flower, HP percent with crit damage and elemental mastery and attack percent. Elemental mastery sands with crit damage, crit rate, energy recharge and attack percent. A Nemo damage bonus cup with crit rate and attack percent. Crit damage helm with crit rate and attack percent. And for the substats to look for, elemental mastery is going to be key. Crit damage and attack percent for her increased damage, and crit rate and energy recharge. Now for the sands, elemental mastery is going to be key. And for the helm, you can go elemental mastery as well. In this way, you can further increase elemental mastery for the Sucrose to give to your other party members. And I'm going to be doing burst damage testing, so I'm going to be showing you whether you're going to go for elemental mastery for the hat, or just go for crit rate or crit damage. That way she can be doing bursty support as well with damage. Here's the Hu Tao burst damage with Sucrose's Iridescent set up, decreasing the pyro limit by 40%. Here is the melt damage with the elemental mastery increase from 1 elemental mastery sands. Here is the melt damage with the elemental mastery increase with 2 elemental mastery artifacts with sands and helm. You can clearly see 8000 damage difference, and the best way to increase these elemental reaction damage is with elemental mastery, so Sucrose has potential to give massive amounts of elemental mastery, especially if you run elemental mastery weapons too. With the sands, you should run elemental mastery. With helm, you have options, as if you want to deal a little bit of burst and Nemo damage with Sucrose, then you can opt in for crit rate or crit damage. A lot of you guys will opt in to use elemental mastery in this piece as well, further increasing elemental mastery. As for the cup, you can go on Nemo damage or elemental mastery as well. If you want to just maximize elemental mastery, you can do that with the best weapons on Sucrose. It's going to be sacrificial fragments. This book will give you the elemental mastery you will need, and also being able to proc her E skill much more effectively. You'll be able to use her skills doing more elemental resistance reduction and charging up for energy for the burst. This weapon, along with the free to play friendly weapon Mappa Mirror, which gives elemental damage bonus as well, making this weapon one that fits Sucrose very well. If you're looking to do bursty damage support with her, then you'll be going to opt in for attack percent, crit damage, or crit rate weapons. One that comes to mind is the Widsits, with this weapon giving crit damage and also has a chance to get 300 elemental mastery, with the other two helping Sucrose dish out more damage. Dueling Tails is also a great option as well for the added attack buff she'll be giving to the new character after her.